Hey there, future castle architects. Before we dive into today's epic build, I've got a question for you. If you had unlimited resources and a time machine, would you build a castle that could withstand a siege for months? Or would you go all in on intimidation factor with massive towers that strike fear into anyone who dares? Approach. Drop your answer in the comments, because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what it takes to build both. And trust me, the medieval engineers who designed these fortresses were absolute geniuses. Let's get into it. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm all about diving deep into history's most incredible engineering feats. And today, we're tackling something I've wanted to cover for ages. We're talking about medieval castles, but not just any surface-level tour. I'm going to show you step by step how to actually build the perfect medieval castle from the ground up, using the same principles and techniques that made fortresses like Dover Castle, H-Tau Gaillard, and Craig des Chevaliers legendary. Whether you're a history buff, a gamer trying to make your Minecraft build more authentic, or just someone who's always wondered how these massive stone monsters came to be, this video is for you. So smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's build ourselves a castle. First things first, location is everything. You can't just plop a castle down anywhere and expect it to work. Medieval lords and military engineers spent months scouting the perfect spot, and they had three main criteria. You want high ground, access to water, and natural defensive features. Think about it. A castle on a hill means attackers have to fight uphill while you're raining arrows down on them. That's a massive advantage. Rivers, springs, or wells were non-negotiable because a besieging army's first move was always to cut off your water supply. And natural defenses, like cliffs, marshes, or dense forests, meant fewer sides you had to fortify heavily. Some of the smartest castle builders would find a spot where a river bend created a natural moat, or where rocky outcrops made scaling walls nearly impossible. Once you've got your location locked in, it's time to think about your foundation and curtain walls. These aren't just any walls. They're the backbone of your entire defensive system. Medieval masons would dig deep trenches and fill them with rubble and mortar to create foundations that could support walls up to 15 feet thick. Yes, you heard that right, 15 feet of solid stone. Curtain walls would typically rise between 30 and 40 feet high, and here's a pro tip from the experts. You want to build them with a slight inward lean at the base. This creates a battered base that makes it harder for siege engines to damage the foundation and prevents enemies from climbing effectively. The walls should be crenellated at the top, with merlons for protection and crenels for firing positions. Don't forget the wall walk. That's the pathway along the top where defenders can move quickly between positions. Now let's talk towers, and this is where things get really interesting. Round towers became the gold standard after about the 12th century, and there's solid science behind this. Square towers have corners that are vulnerable to undermining and battering rams, plus they create blind spots. Round towers eliminate those weaknesses entirely. You want to space your towers about 200 feet apart along the curtain walls so that archers can provide overlapping fields of fire, meaning no attacker can reach your walls without being shot at from multiple angles. These towers should project outward from the wall, giving defenders the ability to fire along the wall's face and catch enemies in a crossfire. The really advanced castles had towers that were open at the back facing into the courtyard. Why? Because if enemies somehow captured a tower, they couldn't use it as a fortified position against you. The gatehouse deserves special attention because it's simultaneously your weakest and strongest point. It's weak because it's an opening, but you're going to turn it into a death trap for anyone foolish enough to attack it. Your gatehouse should have at least 2 portcullises, those heavy iron reinforced wooden gates that drop down from above. Between them, you're installing a murder hole in the ceiling where defenders can drop rocks, pour boiling water, or shoot arrows straight down on trapped attackers. Add a heavy wooden door reinforced with iron bands, a drawbridge if you've got a moat, and arrow slits covering every possible approach angle. Some castles had 3 or even 4 layers of gates. The lesson here is simple. Make them regret even thinking about coming through your front door. Speaking of moats, let's address the elephant in the room. Not every castle had a water-filled moat like you see in movies. Many had dry ditches that were just as effective. Point wasn't necessarily to make people swim. It was to create a massive obstacle that slowed attackers down and exposed them to missile fire from above. A moat or ditch should be at least 20 feet wide and 10 to 15 feet deep. If you can fill it with water, fantastic, but even a dry ditch serves the purpose. The excavated earth doesn't go to waste either. You pile it up on your side to create an earthen rampart that makes your walls effectively even higher. Inside your curtain walls, you need to think about the bailey, the inner courtyard. This is where daily life happens, so you need practical buildings. You want a great hall for dining and gatherings, a chapel because religion was central to medieval life, barracks for your garrison, stables for horses, a smithy for weapon and armor repair, storage buildings for food and supplies, and workshop. But here's the crucial part. All of these should be built against the inner face of your curtain walls or arranged so they don't interfere with defensive operations. You need clear lines of movement for defenders rushing to their positions during an attack. Now we get to the crown jewel of your castle, the keep or donjon. This is your last line of defense and your statement of power. The keep should be the tallest, strongest structure in your entire fortress. We're talking walls that are even thicker than your curtain walls, maybe 20 feet thick at the base. Build it at the highest point of your castle and make sure it's positioned so that even if attackers breach your curtain walls, they still have to fight their way uphill to reach it. The keep needs its own well, its own food storage, and its own defenses. Some keeps were surrounded by their own separate walls, called chemise walls. The entrance should be on the 2nd floor, accessible only by a removable wooden staircase or drawbridge, making ground-level assault nearly impossible. Let's talk about those arrow slits you've probably seen in every castle photo. The technical term is loopholes, and their design is pure genius. From the inside, they're wide, giving archers plenty of room to aim and fire. From the outside, they're just narrow slits, making them almost impossible to shoot back through. The really advanced versions called cross slits or cruciform loops allowed defenders to shoot at different angles without exposing themselves. Place these strategically at multiple levels in your towers and walls, so you have overlapping fields of fire covering every approach. One feature that separates good castles from great ones is the inclusion of sally ports. These are small, hidden doors in your walls that allow defenders to launch surprise counterattacks or escape if things go badly. They should be concealed, possibly hidden behind natural features, and defendable so they can't be used against you easily. Your castle needs a reliable water source, and this cannot be overstated. Many sieges ended not because walls were breached, but because the defenders ran out of water. Dig your well deep, and dig it inside your keep if possible. Some paranoid lords had multiple wells as backup. If you're lucky enough to have a natural spring inside your walls, you've hit the jackpot. Don't forget about the less glamorous, but absolutely essential infrastructure. You need latrines, and medieval engineers were surprisingly sophisticated about this. Many castles had chutes built into the walls that emptied into the moat or outside the walls. You need storage areas that stay cool and dry for preserving food. You need a brewery because water wasn't always safe to drink, but ale was. You need ovens for baking bread that can feed a garrison of 50 to 200 men, plus servants and nobles. The final touches involve making your castle as intimidating as possible. Fly your banners from the highest towers. Paint shields and heraldic symbols on the walls. Some lords even painted false arrow slits to make their castles look more heavily defended than they actually were. Psychological warfare was real, and if you could convince an enemy that attacking you was hopeless before they even tried, you'd won without losing a single soldier. And there you have it, the complete blueprint for building the perfect medieval castle. From choosing the right hilltop to designing your impenetrable keep, you now know exactly what medieval engineers knew when they created structures that still stand today, hundreds of years later. These weren't just homes for nobles. They were military masterpieces that combined architecture, engineering, psychology, and raw defensive power into one incredible package. If you enjoyed this deep dive into medieval engineering, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow and lets me know you want more content like this. Drop a comment and tell me which famous castle you think best represents these principles, or if there's another historical engineering marvel you want me to break down next. Maybe Roman aqueducts, Viking longships? Let me know. And if you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? We've got so much more awesome historical content coming your way. Ring that notification bell so you don't miss it. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, keep building, keep learning, and remember that the people who built these incredible fortresses didn't have computers or modern tools, just brilliant minds and incredible determination. If they could build castles that lasted centuries, imagine what you can accomplish. I'll catch you in the next one.